Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. I'm playing a very serious videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This does sound delicious. Hopefully it will be. But anyway, we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, why I wear super cool shirts? I like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Well, folks, it's my Sumo Psycho shirt. Which, if you are unfamiliar with the band Sumo Psycho, they are a band out of Canada. I believe originally they kind of started out, they sort of dubbed themselves like punk metal or something to that effect. I think I remember reading that at one point. I don't know, but they're a neat, cool metal band out of Canada that I ran into about 2 months ago. They went on tour with a band that I love called Nonpoint. I'd never heard of these folks. I wasn't sure what to expect going into their performance, but I ended up super loving what they were doing. Like, not only did I just think their music was really cool and, you know, just was totally into their style, but on top of that, like, just the energy that they put into the show, like, it really brought back a lot of nostalgia for me of, like, when I first started going to shows when I was, you know, a much smaller lad. Well, you know, I mean, like, 18, 19. But it was just, like, all that, like, just, you know, explosive energy and, like, seeing the crowd be super into it. I was extremely impressed. So much so I picked up some merch from them, got a picture with a couple of the members. I even went over there and took some video of their performances. Those videos are on this channel as well, just in case maybe you're interested. Maybe like food and music stuff. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why does it sound delicious? Well, that's because it's boom! It's from Shake Shack. That's the little Shake Shack logo. This is their brand new coffee and donuts milkshake. Yes, which consists of coffee frozen custard, hand spun with donut crunch. This is regular size. And actually, I don't know if it's a milkshake or if it's not a milkshake. I don't know. But it's a shake. You got to get a shake from Shake Shack, right? I feel like, ha, 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 ha. So, let's give it a go while it's still nice and cold. Ooh. Well, the coffee part is very evident and very nice. I like it a lot. Yeah, the coffee part is excellent. I mean, I've done, what was it? I think Potbelly. I did like their cold brew shake, which was a very nice coffee milkshake as well. This, I'm going to say, I mean, it's been a little while since I've had the Potbelly one, to be fair. I think that this one is better, though. It has, the Potbelly one, I remember, like, it had a nice coffee taste to it. But this one, it does a really good job of actually having, like, the complexity of, you know, kind of a nicer coffee and everything. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm not a huge coffee person. I'm more coffee adjacent. I'm okay with coffee as long as it has something to sort of, like, counteract, like, the tendency of the bitterness and everything. This, the coffee aspect tastes very, very definitely like coffee, but it also goes as far as to have some of that bitterness and everything, instead of just being kind of lightly coffee flavored and then just sweet. And I'm okay with having that bitterness there as long as you have, like, the contrast. And with this, obviously you do. It's a shake, so you have that, you know, sweet and bitter contrast. And it's really nice. And then, yeah, you get, like, little, like, nuggets of sweetness from, I'm guessing, like, the donut crunch, as they refer to it. Okay. I'm going to say this. At least so far, I would have liked more donuts. Like, more donut crunch. Because, like, I'm not getting a lot of it. It's nice when you get it, because it acts as kind of, like, another sort of layer to the sweetness. It can diminish the coffee, again, that bitterness I was talking about, a little bit of that complexity. So, and maybe that's why they didn't, put as much in there. Maybe they were trying to preserve that coffee flavor. Maybe too much donut would have been a bit too much. But it's nice, and I do like the addition of the donut aspect. Like, it would have been really easy for this to just be, for all intents and purposes, a coffee milkshake, and it still would have been really good. But I like that they added in that addition. Albeit I've never been a coffee in donut person. I know for some people they like to dunk their, that's where Dunkin' Donuts came from. You dunk your donut in the coffee. I've never been that person. It just feels like I'm hurting the donut more than I'm helping the coffee. But, some people like to do it, and I'm not against it. It's just not my thing. But in this instance, I think it works out really nicely. Because, obviously it's more of a blended kind of thing, but there is a nice distinction of the flavors. It's really good. It's got that sweetness. It's got a little bit of a bitterness to it. Got a little bit of the donut crunch. I mean, the crunch, I will say there's no crunch to the donut bits. But yeah, I like this. It's taking something that fundamentally isn't particularly that unusual. Like a coffee shake, I mean, Arby's has one available pretty frequently on their menu. Like I said, Potbelly's had one. It's a thing. But this is taking that and just giving it that little something extra. And also going over there and just combining it with something that, even if you're like me, where it's not really your thing, you're familiar with the concept. You know that it's a thing. I'm down with it. I like it. Two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes, slight caveat. And then yes, again, slight caveat. So, I would definitely get this again. Only thing I would do, this is, like I said, this is a regular size one. Normally, when I get like a shake or something like that, I get a large, because I'm me, But it was one of those things where it was like, you know what? Like, I just went with the regular because I did the online ordering thing. Or not the online, but like the, like the little kiosk thing that they have there. Because there were just too many people up front, so I was like, screw it, I'll just order through there. I didn't think to put in large, I just went with the regular. I would stick with a regular. I think a large would be a bit much, because it's rich, especially with that coffee flavor. This is a nice, nice kind of frozen treat. Again, I don't think I would want like a full one. I think this is like the appropriate amount. I think this would be really nice. So that's my only caveat. By that same token, if I'm going over there and I'm recommending it to anybody, it's the same kind of thing. It's like, obviously you have to be into, kind of coffee flavor. And again, I will emphasize, like, this has more coffee flavor than I have had from possibly any other coffee shake that I've personally had. Not saying it has the most ever, just saying my experience. So if you're not into coffee, but, you're expecting, it'll be, no, it's there. It's mitigated to some extent, but if you're not into the coffee flavor, it's not going to be for you. By the same token, I say get a regular. I think large, again, just maybe a little bit much, but that's just me. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly coffee shake-tastic rest of your life. Because why not go over there and combine all of the health benefits of caffeine with a buttload of sugar? Supposedly, this has the same amount of caffeine as 2 cups of coffee. Just as an added thing there. I've read that on the description. Anyway, yeah, I did that. Clearly, I need a little bit more caffeine. Final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me, I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and bullshit. And, it can be a struggle, folks. No 2 ways about it. I know it, I'm not going to say I know it better than most. I'm not going to be presumptuous like that, especially with all the bullshit that goes on in the world. But I've had my fair share, and I imagine most of you have as well. It's important when we deal with those situations in our lives, though, we try. Emphasis on try. Always, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. If you decide that you're going to go over there and do yourself a food review show for the YouTubes or TikToks or what the fuck ever, I don't know what's going to go on. That was the thing. Recently I was talking with this one girl who was working at a gas station I was at. We were chatting a little bit and everything, and I brought up the YouTube thing, because we were talking about food and stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I follow, like these various like TikTokers and stuff. And it was like, yep, there's the generational divide right there. That's why my like, what is it, like 18 to 25 or whatever it is. That's why that part of my audience is my smallest part of my audience. But I still love all of you, so. Anyway, but if you do decide to do a food show for YouTube or whatever, hopefully pick days where the sun doesn't just keep dicking you over. I had to move my car 3 times because the sun would be behind the clouds and then it would come out again. And I hate the sun. Anyway, bye.